जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय जसोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीरावनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव राधे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधा माधव जय राधा माधव जय प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल जय गुरु महाराज की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 17, verse 10 and 11. Yasya rashtre praja sarvas Yasya rashtre praja sarvas Trasyante sadvi asadhubhi Trasyante sadvi asadhubhi Tasya mattasya nashyanti Tasya mattasya nashyanti कीर्ति आयुर्भगो गति कीर्तिर आयुर्भगो गति एष राज्ञां परो धर्मो एष राज्ञां परो धर्मो हि आत्मानामार्तिनिग्रह ह्यार्थानामार्तिनिग्रह अथ एनं वदिष्यामि अथ एनं वदिष्यामि भूतद्रुहम् असत्तमम् भूतद्रुहम् असत्तमम् यस्य राष्ट्रे प्रजा सर्वास् त्रस्यन्ते साध्व्यसाधुभिः तस्य मत्तस्य नाश्यान्ति Kirtir ayur bhagogati. Es ajnam paro dharmo. Hi arthanam arti nigraha. Atha enam vadishyami. Bhutadruham asattamam. Yasya rashtre praja sarvas. Trasyante sadhya sadhubhi. Tasya mattasya nashyanti. Kirtir ayur bhagogati. Esha rajñam paro dharmo. Hiyarthanam arti nigraha. Atha enam vadishyami. Bhutadruham asattamam. Translation and purport by Sri Venkateswara Swami Charanarvinda Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Synonyms. Yasya, one whose. Rashtre, in the state. Praja, living beings. Sarva, one and all. Trasyante, are terrified. Sadhvi, O chaste one. Asadhubi, by the miscreants. Tasya, his. Mattasya, of the illusioned. Vanishes. Kirti, fame. Ayu, duration of life. Bhagha, fortune. Gati, good rebirth. Esha, these are. Rajnam, of the kings. Para, superior. Dharma, occupation. He, certainly. Arthanam, of the sufferers. Arti, sufferings. Nigraha, subduing. Atha, therefore. Enam, this man. Vadishyami, I shall kill. Bhutadruham, revolter against other living beings. Asattamam, the most wretched. Translation. O chaste one, the king's good name, duration of life, and good rebirth vanish when all kinds of living beings are terrified by mistakes in his kingdom. Only the prime duty of the king to subdue first the sufferings of those who suffer. Therefore, I must kill this most wretched man because he is violent against other living beings. Purport. When there is some disturbance caused by wild animals in a village or town, the police or others take action to kill them. Similarly, it is a duty of the government to kill at once all bad social elements such as thieves, dacoits, and murderers. The same also due to animal killers, because the animals of the state are also the praja. Praja means one who has taken birth in the state, and this includes both men and animals. Any living being who takes birth in a state has the primary right to live under the protection of the king. The jungle animals are also subject to the king, and they also have a right to live. So, what to speak of domestic animals like the cows and bulls? Any living being, if he terrifies other living beings, is a most wretched subject, and the king should at once kill such a disturbing element, as the wild animal is killed when it creates disturbances. Similarly, any man who unnecessarily kills or terrifies the jungle animals or other animals must be punished by the law of the Supreme Lord. Living beings, whatever shape they may be, are the sons of the Lord, and no one has any right to kill another animal unless it is so ordered by the courts of natural law. The tiger can kill a lower animal for his subsistence, but a man cannot kill an animal for his subsistence. That is the law of God, who created the law that a living being subsists by eating another living being. Thus, the vegetarians are also living by eating other living beings. Therefore, the law is that one should live only by eating specific living beings as ordained by the law of God. The Upanishad directs that one should live by the direction of the Lord and not at one's sweet will. A man can subsist on varieties of grains, fruits, and milk ordained by God, and there is no need of animal food, save and except in particular cases. The illusioned king of executive head, even though sometimes advertised as a great philosopher and learned scholar, will allow slaughterhouses in the state without knowing that torturing poor animals clears the way out to hell for such foolish kings or executive heads. The executive head must always be alert to the safety of the pujaris. Both man and animal inquire a particular living being is harassed at any place by another living being. The harassing living being must at once be caught and put to death, as shown by Maharaja. The people's government or government by the people should not allow people or killing of innocent animals by the sweet will of foolish government men. They must know the codes of God as mentioned in the revealed scriptures. Maharaja Parikshit quotes here that according to the codes of God, the irresponsible king or state executive jeopardizes his good name, duration of life, power, and strength, and ultimately his progressive march towards a better life and salvation after death. Such foolish men do not even believe in the existence of an next life. While commenting on this particular verse, we have in our presence the statement of a great modern politician who has recently died and left his will, which discloses his poor fund of knowledge of the codes of God mentioned by Maharaja Parikshit. The politician was so ignorant of the codes of God that he writes, I do not believe in any such ceremonies, and to submit to them, even as a matter of form, would be hypocrisy and an attempt to delude ourselves into others. I have no religious sentiment in the matter. Contrasting the statements of a great politician in the modern age with those of Maharaja Parikshit, we find a vast difference. Maharaja Parikshit was wise according to the scriptural codes, whereas the modern politician goes by his personal belief and sentiments. Any great man of the material world is, after all, a conditioned soul. He is bound by his hands and feet by the ropes of material nature, and still the foolish conditioned soul thinks of himself as free to act by his whimsical sentiments. The conclusion is that people in the time of Maharaja Parikshit were very happy, and the animals were given proper protection because the executive head was not whimsical or ignorant of law. Foolish, faithless creatures try to avoid the existence of the Lord and proclaim themselves secular at the cost of valuable human life. The human at life is especially meant for knowledge, the science of God, but foolish creatures, especially in this age of Kali, instead of knowing God scientifically, make propaganda against religious belief as well as the existence of God, even though they are always bound by the laws of God, by the symptoms of birth, death, old age, and disease. Haryum Tat Sat. So this is a self-explanatory purport. I think there's a need for a class. ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जाए, पतित पावन श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाए, पतित पावन श्रील गुरु महाराज की जाए, वैष्णव प्रणाम। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि।